The smartest investors in the world are using altcoins to multiply their Bitcoin. You see, when Bitcoin is relatively quiet, altcoins will go on this mini cycle where they are in power, growing more rapidly at a more rapid clip than Bitcoin. And then the exact opposite is happening. When altcoins are quiet, Bitcoin will start growing more rapidly at a more rapid clip. Understanding these cycles and knowing when to get in and when to get out can start to multiply your Bitcoin. In today's video, I'm going to cover the top 5 altcoins. You're going to leave this video with everything you need to know about the altcoin market right now and for September. If you're new here, my name is Steve. I went from welfare to minting millionaires. Hit that subscribe button and I'm going to show you how to have more success in crypto. Now, we've got XRP first, okay? I know there's a lot of XRP fans and a lot of XRP haters, but respect the charts. What I'm going to show you in the charts are the biggest moves and how to identify them so you can maximize your money. Now, if you're in this industry to make more money and more wins, what we're doing right now on our website is giving away free trade alerts for 7 days. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. This little screen is going to pop up. Plug in your email and get your free alerts right now. 7 days right to your phone, right to your email. Now let's get back to the XRP. What we've got above is price action. We're going to cover price action, then what's happening in the RSI. Do you see what's happening right here in the RSI? And then the stochastic RSI. We've got this cross we need to talk about. But first, let's get to price action. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give my honest assessment of the altcoin market right now and what I am doing, what I am buying at this moment. But with XRP, what is the biggest takeaway are these two lines. We have the 21 MA and the 50 MA. When they cross, that's when the biggest moves happen for XRP. It did so back here in 2017. And we noticed this in 2017 when this line crossed up. That's when XRP exploded. So we called this out in 2018. We said, hey, XRP is about to go on a relatively large downturn because we had this green line cross back through, signaling a long-term bearish signal. All right. Nobody wanted to believe us in the XRP community, but they respected the hell out of it a couple years later when we were in a long, drawn-out bear market. Now, in 2020, we had this cross again, where the green line crossed again above. Right here on this channel, we said that XRP was about to explode. It happened right around the time when XRP was in the news for having some lawsuit, and no matter what the news was saying, everybody was saying XRP is dead. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. So right here on this channel, we said, who cares what the news are saying? Look at the charts. XRP is about to explode. And it went from about 20 cents up to $2. Now, what we're looking for is the same kind of cross, right? We had this cross down in 2020, signaling a long-term bear is coming, and we're in the midst of that, right? There's no signal close to coming that we're about to have the green line cross above the red. We've still got some time to go. But take a look at this white line right here. This is our market structure that XRP has been forming for years. You think about since May 2017, we've been forming this structure, and this is our main base that we've been forming. If XRP in the coming months gets down to this 15 cents, it's going to be a very nice time to get into the market. I'm not giving some financial advice here. I'm just stating absolute facts. This is an incredibly strong market structure that XRP has been forming for 5 years, over 5 years. So it's time to pay attention to that structure if it were to break. Now the question is, could this break? Is there something in the charts that could cause it to break? Well, one thing I would like you to look at is the RSI. And the RSI for the better part of 1 year, right, has been in this trend. What you want to pay attention to is a break of this trend. A break of this trend will shift the momentum from prices going down to prices starting to go back up. This change in momentum is what XRP needs. We're not close to it yet. So pay attention. We're on a weekly chart. The weekly RSI has got to break this trend line. Now, let's talk about the short-term momentum. In September, we just had this cross just recently, right? This is our momentum. Our momentum is heading down. At the same time that we're faced with this base that we've been forming here at about 28 cents. What you want to look at in XRP is it's not likely we're going to break this trend line. We have our momentum heading down. We're going to need that to shift back up. We're going to need to battle this green line, and we're going to need to stay above here. But XRP could have some turmoil in September, especially if it breaks this level right here. So watch this level, this 29 cents like a hawk. If we break that, it's highly probable we're going to fall right to 15. All right. So in the meantime, you pay attention to this trend line here and our momentum. Now we're going to head into our next coin, BNB USD, one of my favorites. Now, what I want you to do, you right there, comment what your favorite altcoin is and put a thumbs up on this video. If this video gets a lot of comments and a lot of thumbs up, we're going to do more of these altcoin videos. We normally cover the largest moves in the market for Bitcoin. But if you want more of these, comment right now and put a thumbs up on the video. So BNB USD, right? Couple things. We'll start with price action, and then we've got to talk about what's happening down here in the RSI, and then you already see what's going on here with the stochastic RSI. So price action. We've had a similar base form with BNB USD at about 208. So 208, the only difference with XRP, that had about 5 years of price action, and here it's just not even 2 years yet. So this is our base we do not want to break. With the body of a candle going below here, look at our structure. We had not built a lot of structure in BNB USD. It will be a free fall. It will be a heavy, heavy free fall if it breaks this level with the body of a candle. Just stating facts here, all right? You can look, our structure we're looking at is at about $40. Between $50 and $40 would be heavy structure, and that's quite a free fall from 210. So we do not want that to happen. You can see this trend line that we've been forming here, creating a high, a lower high, another lower high, and we're coming down. We're probably going to bounce off of this white line soon and then try to battle this red line again. All right, so we could see some sort of bounce down here and then a bounce back up to battle that. That's what we'll be watching in September. Now let's get some more clues from the RSI. Weekly RSI, you can see our pivot high here back in February of 2021. And then since then, a lower high, another lower high, another lower high, another lower high, and yet another lower high. In order to change the trend, we've got to shift the momentum in the RSI. We have to create our first ever higher high. All right. Meanwhile, we've been creating a low and another lower low. So we're at our pivot low right here, which is similar to our pivot low we saw in December 2018 when prices were here. All right. So we're near a similar pivot low that we saw here. The only things we need to see is you can see the RSI made a higher high here. And this candle was still relatively new in that rally. That was our candle that told us like, hey, we just made a new pivot high here. We're trying to shift our momentum, and then boom, we went to the moon. And by the way, this is not an altcoin video where it's like, hey, this is how to make 1,000x on return and you're going to get a Lambo tomorrow and everything's going to the moon. This is just pure facts. I'm looking at the charts. I'm reading them to you like a book, and you take it for what you wish. But we state facts here, and we talk about the largest moves in crypto. That's why you just subscribed to our channel. But look at here. What you want to see is you need to see a pivot high above this level here, which is at about 52. All right. We didn't make it here, and it looks like we're going to come back down and do some testing. Hopefully start to shift the momentum. September could be a month where we start to shift the momentum, but there is one thing standing in our way, and that's our stochastic RSI. We just had a cross down on the stochastic RSI, which is our momentum. So our momentum is shifting down. At the same time, we got rejected from this trend line. All right. So it's looking like this white line is in play. All right. Our momentum is shifting down. We're having trouble with the RSI. September could be an opportunity to see BNB USD back around the 200, 210 level, which would be a pretty nice level to scoop some up at, especially when we get a shift back up on momentum, and more so when we break this trend line. Now let's look at what we see with Ethereum. Those have been following our channel. A couple weeks back, we said, watch out for this green line, right? We were down here in prices and we said, hey, watch out for this green line. Why? Because that's precisely what we did before in our fractal pattern that we've been repeating for about 2 years. We've been repeating this same fractal pattern for 2 years. So if you're just discovering our channel, you're like, holy crap, we've been following this. I need to subscribe. Let me see what this guy has to say. But what did we say before about Ethereum? Hey, watch a rally up to the green line and then watch a rejection from the green line. So we rallied up to the green line and now we're seeing a rejection from the green line. What can we see next? Well, we're not finished with our rejection. We could see a further rejection, and the next mission for Ethereum is a retest of this green line. And that's what we'll probably see in the coming months. So stay tuned for that. More importantly, this trend line right here with Ethereum, with the RSI on the weekly, same sort of story that we've seen in some other altcoins. Further trend line here, a bigger trend line than the other ones, almost 2 years. You can see a high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, and a lower high. Once we break through here, there's going to be some fireworks with Ethereum. Pay close attention to this because you don't want to miss that ride. It's going to be a hell of a ride. It's been 2 years of a downtrend. It will break eventually, and when it does, fireworks. We just had this cross, which last time we had it, it signaled the bottom was in for Ethereum. So the bottom could potentially be in. I'm going to give my honest take on the altcoin market, including what am I buying now at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that as well. But let's get to our next one. ADA USD. All right. Couple things happening here. We'll start with price action on the top, but take a look at this trend line. We're getting real close, and then we'll talk about this cross down here. But what we've noticed with ADA USD is it's slightly different than what we've seen with some other altcoins, showing a bit of strength in terms of its market structure. You can see this structure started to form back almost 2 years ago, January 2021, right? And we're holding it now. I love to see this long wick. This long wick tells us that a ton of buyers came in at this pivot low. That's good news to protect this level. You want to see a lot of buyers. You want to see long wicks coming down here. That tells you that there's so much momentum, it's going to start trying to shift it back to the upside. Okay, we're not quite there yet. We're forming a nice, beautiful base. You want to see longer wicks. You want to see this base continue. That tells us that the next run will be incredibly strong. Look at this base we formed during this period here, right? Incredibly strong. Yeah, we had some rallies, but we came back to our base. Another rally came back to our base, formed a nice little pivot double bottom here. That told us that this next rally, you can see we went from, down here at about a cent all the way up to here, like $3. So it's just an absurd rally, an absurd run. You want to see this strong base form to have the next rally be incredibly, incredibly strong. All right, so we're in the midst of that now. Now that we're forming our base, we've got this base forming at about 40 cents. Keep an eye on that, all right? That you do not want that to break. Our next line of support is really not until here, 15 cents, all right? So with the RSI on the weekly, same kind of story. High, lower high, lower high. You can see this trend line, and it needs to break, and it's closer than some of the other coins we've covered so far. It's closer to that break at the same time of showing support at a very critical level. What we need is momentum to come into the market, and right now our momentum is heading down. But again, a little bit ahead of some of the other coins, meaning this had to cross down before some of the other coins, so that could be good news. What you want to see is a reversal in our momentum, a breakthrough of this trend line, and continued support at this level at about 40 cents. That would be incredibly good news for ADA USD. Now let's get to our last one, Solana. This may be the first time we've ever covered Solana on the channel, but again, this video is titled Top 5 Altcoins, and quite literally, We just covered the top 5 altcoins. It's not the top 5 altcoins that are going to somehow give you a Lambo tomorrow. I know there's a lot of people that make videos like that. It's just not our style. We make videos based on the facts and the charts. That's why you just subscribed to our channel. Now we'll start with price action. Solana with price action has this little area here. Okay, this is our zone of support, and below it we've got quite a drop down to this level, which we'll get to in a minute. But so far we're showing some signs of strength, right? Solana is a little bit newer. It doesn't have a ton of data behind it for us to look at like a long-term chart, but again, there's nothing getting in the way of these facts. This is a strong level that we're showing some signs of support. I like to see this long wick here into our most critical level of Solana, but what you want to see is continued support. If we break through this bottom yellow level here, it's going to plummet all the way here, which is at about $14. We don't want that to happen, right? You want to protect that base. You want to continue to form that base and get ready for the next rally upwards. But a couple things standing in the way, right? With the RSI, clearly we don't have years and years and years of data. But what we do know is that we've been in a very long downtrend since April 2021. All right, you can have our high here, our lower high, another lower high. What you want to see with this action that we're forming here, we need to break this pivot high of 53. Okay, we need to get a higher high of 53. That'll be a major sign to Solana. Nothing will happen in Solana in terms of fireworks until it breaks this level. That will be a clear-cut sign. There'll be more buyers stepping in, and we can't do it unless we have momentum, and our momentum is heading down at the moment. Now, let me jump into what I'm looking at right now. Let me jump into my pulse of the altcoin market, and more importantly, what am I doing right now? Am I buying something right now? Am I close to buying something right now? Let me get into my honest feedback. Now, again, earlier in the video, I said, if you have a favorite altcoin, comment it right now. And I'm talking to you. If you didn't comment right now and put a thumbs up on this video. And if this video gets some traction, we'll do more altcoin videos, because our channel normally just focuses on Bitcoin. Because look, Bitcoin drives the bus for everybody, period. Whatever Bitcoin's going to do, everything else will follow suit. And that's how this thing works, right? So if you understand Bitcoin inside out, backwards, forwards, you'll know the altcoin market easily. Now, what I mentioned earlier, the smartest investors are using altcoins to multiply their Bitcoin. It's that simple. That's what I teach for my students. I teach how to use altcoins to your advantage to multiply your Bitcoin. It's something that you don't see a lot of people talking about, but these pairings are very important, right? The pairings are super important, and everything in the market goes on these little mini cycles. You'll see 3 or 4 months of altcoins being in more power than Bitcoin, and then you'll see it flip-flop. You'll see Bitcoin being in more power than altcoins, and you have to know how to trade in and out of pairs, and you can start to multiply your portfolio. If that sounds too complex to you, I have all the training step by step of how to do it. And literally, if you're like 7 years old, you'll be able to follow it. I make it that simple and that easy. So that's on our website, Crypto Crew University. Now, what am I doing right now, and what's my pulse in the market? You just saw all these charts. They're all screaming the same thing loud and clear. Did you get the message? What message do you think they're screaming loud and clear? Loud and clear, it's saying like, hey, September for altcoins might be some trouble. All these charts are showing that they've lost momentum and they're battling a very critical level. So September is a month of like, hey, all these altcoins are losing momentum and they're going to battle the most critical level. If it breaks, it's a free fall to our next level with all of these, all right? So September is going to be critical. Are these levels going to hold? Are these levels going to hold for these altcoins? And can we gain back our momentum? And can we break these critical trend lines? That's what the month of September is going to be about. That's it in a nutshell. Now, everything is going to follow Bitcoin. We believe that the bottom is in for Bitcoin, although there are some charts, even recently, with this bear flag that we're going to cover here in a couple days from now, that you're definitely not going to want to miss that. All right. So there's some stuff happening in Bitcoin that could cause some trouble in September as well. And we will be covering that. But what am I doing right now? What am I buying right now? Those of you that are my students, you have my exact strategy and the exact coins I get. So if you're a student, you already know that I picked up some stuff recently, pretty heavy stuff. All right. Now, what am I watching? I like to watch Ethereum more than these other coins that I showed you today. All right. I love BNB USD. I love ADA, but not as much as Ethereum. So I'm watching Ethereum. Ethereum is going to start to drive the altcoin market in the future, I believe, but we're not quite there yet. So that's what I'm watching in a nutshell. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Do you want to know when to buy and when to sell? Click this video right now.